Hi everyone and welcome back to another video. In this video we're going to be looking at parts of a fraction and different types of fractions. So here you can see we've got a fraction on the screen. We've got a 1 on the top and a 2 on the bottom, and this is a half. Now the top number we call a numerator, the bottom number we call a denominator, and I like to remember those as the D for denominator being like down. The little line in the middle is called a vinculum. Now the first type of fraction that we have is what's called a unit fraction, and all that means is that the numerator has a value of 1. So it's 1/4, 1/2, 1/5, whatever it may be. There's a 1 as the numerator and the denominator could be anything. The second type of fraction that we have is what's called an improper fraction, and that basically means that the numerator is larger than the denominator. So in these examples you can see we've got 6/4, 6/4, we've got 7/5, and so on. So the numerator, when it's larger than the denominator, we call that an improper fraction. The opposite of that is what's called a proper fraction, and that just means that instead of the numerator being larger than the denominator is larger than the numerator. An improper fraction is used to describe a number that is greater than a whole. So for example, if we look at the 6/4, in order to have a whole we would need to have 4/4, so a fraction of 4/4, that would be one whole, but we've got 6/4, which is greater than a whole. Another way of representing that, instead of an improper fraction, is to use a mixed number where we've got a whole number plus a fraction. So for example, here we've got 3.5 or 6 7/10. That's just another way of representing a fraction that is actually greater than a whole. So that's all the type of fractions that we've got. Just to recap, we've got proper fractions where we've got a larger denominator than numerator, and that includes a unit fraction where the numerator has a value of 1. Then we've got improper fractions, which is a way of representing a number greater than one whole, and with an improper fraction the numerator will always be greater than the denominator. A different way of representing an improper fraction is to convert it into a mixed number, whereby we've got a whole number with a fraction. And generally we find in class and in tests that the children will be asked to convert between improper fractions and mixed numbers. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next video.